Imagine waking up tomorrow with the ability to completely change the trajectory of your life, just by the choices you make before breakfast. That's the power hidden in your daily habits. By the end of this talk, you'll discover the 10 daily habits that aren't just routines. They're the blueprint behind the most unstoppable women in history, habits that can transform anyone who commits to them. Here's the truth. Success doesn't happen in grand gestures. It happens in tiny, deliberate actions repeated day after day. These habits aren't secrets, they're choices made consistently that separate ordinary women from truly powerful ones. And what's amazing, you can start today, no matter who you are or where you are in life. The first habit, owning your mornings, is perhaps the single most transformative habit for women who want to operate at their highest level. Owning your morning isn't just about waking up early. It's about taking control of the first hours of your day and using them intentionally before the chaos of emails, messages, and responsibilities take over. Powerful women understand that how they begin their day sets the tone for everything that follows. They create routines that nourish the mind, body, and spirit, often including activities like meditation, journaling, light exercise, or reading. These practices are not arbitrary. They are carefully chosen to center the mind, calm the nervous system, and provide clarity of purpose. When you begin your day with intentional actions, you're signaling to yourself that your time is valuable and that you are in charge of it. This sense of ownership creates a psychological momentum that carries through decision-making, problem-solving, and interactions with others. Even small choices in the morning, like making your bed, drinking water, or setting your top priorities, compound into a sense of discipline and confidence that grows over time. Importantly, owning your morning is not about rigid perfection. It's about consistency and awareness. It's about carving out a space where you decide the emotional and mental state you want to operate from, rather than reacting to external demands. When this habit becomes ingrained, mornings are no longer rushed or stressful. They become empowering. The clarity, focus, and energy gained in these early hours become a foundation for productivity, creativity, and leadership. In essence, owning your morning transforms how a woman experiences her day, giving her a consistent edge and a stronger sense of control, which in turn amplifies her ability to influence, lead, and perform at her highest potential. The second habit, prioritizing learning every day, is a cornerstone of the mindset that separates powerful women from the rest. This habit is not about sporadic bursts of reading or occasional self-improvement courses. It's a consistent, intentional investment in the growth of the mind. Powerful women understand that knowledge is not just power. It is freedom, perspective, and confidence. They dedicate time each day to expand their understanding of the world, whether through books, podcasts, articles, or conversations with mentors and peers. This daily pursuit of knowledge keeps their minds sharp, adaptable, and prepared to navigate complex situations. It also fosters creativity, as exposure to new ideas allows them to see connections and solutions that others might miss. Learning daily is not just about acquiring technical skills or professional insights. It's about understanding human behavior, developing emotional intelligence, and staying aware of cultural and societal shifts that influence decisions. Powerful women approach learning with curiosity rather than obligation, which transforms it from a task into a source of inspiration and motivation. This habit also reinforces discipline because making time for daily learning requires intentionality, planning, and the ability to say no to distractions. Over time, the accumulation of knowledge compounds, giving them a mental edge that enhances problem-solving, communication, and strategic thinking. They become not only more informed, but also more confident in their decisions, conversations, and leadership. This habit of consistent learning shapes their identity, signaling to themselves and others that growth is non-negotiable and stagnation is unacceptable. By committing to learning every single day, powerful women cultivate a mindset of continuous improvement, resilience, and adaptability, equipping themselves to face challenges, seize opportunities, and make a meaningful impact in their lives and the lives of those around them. The third habit, planning with purpose, is essential for women who want to operate with clarity, focus, and impact. Planning with purpose is far more than writing a to-do list. It's about aligning every action with long-term goals and values. Powerful women approach their days, weeks, and even months with intentionality, identifying what truly matters and ensuring that their time and energy are spent on high-impact activities rather than distractions or obligations that don't serve their vision. This habit begins with clarity of priorities. They distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, understanding that urgent tasks often demand attention, but don't always move the needle toward meaningful outcomes. By consciously scheduling time for strategic thinking, creative work, and relationship building, they avoid the trap of being busy without being productive. Planning with purpose also involves anticipating challenges and creating space for flexibility. Life is unpredictable, but when a woman knows her priorities, she can adjust without losing sight of her core objectives. This approach reduces stress and indecision, allowing her to respond rather than react to circumstances. Daily, purposeful planning also reinforces discipline, as it requires reviewing progress, setting actionable steps, and holding oneself accountable. Over time, this habit strengthens self-trust, because she consistently delivers on her commitments and executes according to her vision. Planning with purpose extends beyond professional achievements. It encompasses health, personal growth, and meaningful connections, ensuring that every aspect of life is considered and nurtured. The compounding effect of this habit is profound. When a woman plans with intention, she not only achieves more, but also experiences a sense of control, alignment, and confidence. It transforms daily routines from reactive survival into deliberate steps toward creating the life she envisions, shaping her into someone whose actions and decisions are consistently powerful and impactful. The fourth habit, prioritizing physical well-being, is a cornerstone of the daily routines of the most powerful women. This habit goes far beyond simply maintaining appearances. It is about nurturing the body to sustain energy, resilience, and mental clarity. Women who cultivate this habit understand that the mind and body are deeply interconnected, and that physical health directly impacts focus, decision-making, and emotional stability. Daily movement, whether through exercise, yoga, or even short walks, strengthens the body while releasing endorphins that boost mood and reduce stress. Nutrition is equally intentional, with choices made to fuel sustained energy rather than temporary satisfaction. Powerful women recognize that neglecting physical health creates invisible barriers, fatigue, irritability, and a diminished capacity to handle challenges that undermine even the sharpest minds. Sleep, hydration, and restorative practices are all part of this habit, ensuring that the body is not merely surviving, but thriving. By treating the body as a priority rather than an afterthought, they cultivate resilience, endurance, and confidence, which ripple into every area of life. This habit also instills discipline, because maintaining physical health requires consistency, even on days when motivation is low or schedules are demanding. Over time, the cumulative effect of this dedication is profound. Increased vitality allows for sharper focus, more effective leadership, and a greater capacity to take on challenges without succumbing to burnout. Moreover, committing to physical well-being sends a powerful message to themselves and to others that they value their own energy and potential. It creates a foundation upon which all other habits and achievements are built. In essence, the daily choice to prioritize health transforms how a woman experiences her life, equipping her with the stamina, clarity, and self-assurance necessary to perform, influence, and lead at the highest levels consistently. If you're ready to unlock your potential, pause right now and pick one habit from this list. Just one. Commit to it tomorrow morning and watch how it reshapes your day and eventually your life. The power of women isn't born. It's built brick by brick, habit by habit. And these 10 daily habits, they're the blueprint. The fifth habit, managing emotions intentionally, is a defining trait of powerful women who operate with clarity and influence. Emotional management is not about suppressing feelings or pretending everything is fine. It is about recognizing, understanding, and directing emotions so that they serve rather than sabotage decisions and relationships. Women who practice this habit develop self-awareness, noticing the subtle cues of stress, frustration, or excitement before these emotions escalate into reactions that could compromise their goals. Daily practices like journaling, meditation, or mindful breathing help them process emotions consciously, creating a pause between stimulus and response. This pause is critical because it allows them to act from strength, reason, and strategy, rather than impulse or reactivity. They also cultivate emotional intelligence, learning to read others' feelings and respond in ways that build trust, collaboration, and respect. Managing emotions intentionally strengthens resilience, as they can navigate setbacks without being derailed by negativity or self-doubt. It also enhances communication, because they can articulate their needs, boundaries, and perspectives clearly and calmly, even in challenging situations. Importantly, this habit is reinforced through consistency. Powerful women make emotional awareness part of their daily routine, reflecting on interactions, successes, and conflicts to identify patterns and areas for growth. Over time, this practice builds confidence because they learn that they are not controlled by circumstances or moods. They control their emotional state and its influence on their life. By mastering this habit, women create an internal environment of stability and focus, allowing them to make better decisions, maintain stronger relationships, and lead with authority. Managing emotions intentionally transforms how a woman engages with herself and the world, turning potential volatility into measured power, clarity, and influence that supports every other aspect of her life and ambitions. The sixth habit, connecting authentically with others, is a vital practice that distinguishes powerful women from those who operate in isolation or superficial networks. Authentic connection goes beyond casual networking or transactional interactions. It is about intentionally cultivating relationships that are meaningful, supportive, and mutually enriching. Powerful women understand that the quality of their connections directly impacts their personal growth, professional opportunities, and emotional resilience. They invest time in people who inspire them, challenge their thinking, and hold them accountable, recognizing that surrounding themselves with individuals who elevate their mindset creates an environment for continuous development. This habit requires attentiveness, empathy, and genuine curiosity about others. It means listening deeply, engaging sincerely, and offering support without expecting immediate returns, which builds trust and respect over time. Authentic connection also involves discerning who deserves their energy and attention, setting boundaries with relationships that drain rather than empower them. By prioritizing meaningful interactions daily, they create a network of allies, mentors, and collaborators who amplify their impact, provide perspective during challenges, and celebrate successes alongside them. This habit fosters emotional intelligence because consistent engagement with diverse perspectives improves understanding of human behavior and strengthens communication skills. It also reinforces a sense of purpose and belonging, as powerful women recognize that influence is not just about individual achievement, but about contributing to and learning from a larger community. Over time, these intentional relationships compound, creating opportunities, insights, and collaborations that would not exist in isolation. By connecting authentically, women not only enhance their professional and personal lives, but also develop a deeper sense of empathy, leadership, and influence. This habit transforms how they navigate social and professional landscapes, turning every interaction into a meaningful step toward growth, trust, and long-term success. The seventh habit, practicing discipline over relying on motivation, is a cornerstone of the daily routines of the most powerful women. Motivation is fleeting and unpredictable, often influenced by external circumstances, mood, or energy levels, whereas discipline is a deliberate commitment to take action consistently, regardless of how one feels. Powerful women understand that relying solely on motivation leads to inconsistency, missed opportunities, and stagnation, while cultivating discipline ensures progress even when challenges arise or enthusiasm wanes. This habit manifests in countless ways, from sticking to morning routines and exercise schedules to completing work tasks and pursuing long-term goals without procrastination. Discipline requires setting clear intentions, establishing structures, and creating systems that make consistent action possible, even when circumstances are less than ideal. It also involves self-accountability, as these women track their commitments, reflect on performance, and course correct when necessary. Over time, practicing discipline builds confidence, resilience, and self-trust, because each completed task reinforces the belief that they can rely on themselves to follow through. This habit also minimizes reliance on external validation or fleeting inspiration, as the internal framework of discipline becomes the engine driving growth and achievement. Furthermore, discipline amplifies the effectiveness of other habits, from learning daily to exercising consistently, because it transforms intentions into tangible results. By committing to action even when motivation is low, powerful women create momentum that compounds, making each subsequent task easier and reinforcing a cycle of productivity and achievement. Ultimately, this habit shapes a mindset that values consistency, accountability, and perseverance, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Practicing discipline over motivation ensures that women do not wait for ideal conditions or perfect moods to act. Instead, they consistently move forward, build mastery, and steadily create the life and influence they desire. The eighth habit, embracing reflection and gratitude, is a practice that profoundly shapes the mindset and effectiveness of the most powerful women. Reflection is the intentional act of looking back at the day's actions, decisions, and experiences to extract lessons and insights. It allows them to identify what worked, what didn't, and what could be improved, creating a continuous feedback loop that fuels growth and self-awareness. Daily reflection ensures that they are not moving through life on autopilot, but rather consciously evaluating their choices, behaviors, and priorities to align more closely with their long-term goals. Gratitude complements reflection by fostering a mindset of abundance and perspective. Powerful women make it a habit to acknowledge the people, opportunities, and experiences that contribute positively to their lives, which cultivates humility, emotional resilience, and mental clarity. Gratitude shifts focus from what is lacking to what is present and valuable, reducing stress, envy, and reactive behaviors while enhancing empathy and connection with others. Together, reflection and gratitude create a balanced inner environment, blending accountability with appreciation. This habit also strengthens emotional intelligence, as it encourages women to recognize their own patterns, understand the impact of their actions, and appreciate the contributions of others. Over time, it builds confidence and mental stability, because they can approach challenges with perspective and a deeper understanding of themselves and their surroundings. Embracing reflection and gratitude is not about dwelling on mistakes or superficially listing positive things. It is a deliberate daily practice of learning from experiences while acknowledging the value in every step of the journey. This habit transforms how women process life's complexities, turning experiences into lessons, setbacks into growth, and daily moments into sources of inspiration, clarity, and motivation, equipping them to operate with consistent power, presence, and purpose. In conclusion, the power of women is not born from luck, talent, or fleeting inspiration. It is built through intentional, consistent daily habits. Each habit, from owning the morning to embracing reflection and gratitude, is a deliberate choice that compounds over time, shaping mindset, resilience, and influence. These habits are the invisible architecture behind the most powerful women, giving them clarity in decision-making, strength in challenges, and vision for what is possible. By committing to growth, prioritizing energy, managing emotions, connecting authentically, and practicing discipline, women create momentum that transforms not only their own lives, but also the impact they have on the world around them. The true secret is simple yet profound. Greatness is not a sudden event. It is the result of repeated, purposeful actions carried out with intention every single day. These 10 habits are a blueprint, a map to living a life of power, presence, and purpose, showing that the women who shape the world do so one conscious habit at a time.